The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Deep Talk. This is Galaxy TV. My name is Mr. Henry Nchali and Lookman. In the first part, to take it and how he becomes who he is. And that leads me to a question I've always wanted to ask. Is a creative born or made? Are you born a creative?
I think everyone is born. So, for me, I feel like talent is basically just interest.
Oh, yeah.
In my own opinion,
talent is interest that enhances your ability to do something.
It's because if you're interested, then you practice the thing. Because I wasn't when the first time I drew, I don't think I was that interested, but I wasn't that good, but I had a special interest in drawing.
Yes.
So every person that could draw in my neighborhood, I would make them my friend. I would try to learn from them. So that's the interest. Other people, they weren't interested. So basically, for me.
So if I'm interested in singing, for example, but then I'm not talented and I practice over and over again, I can become perfect at singing.
Yeah.
For example, the other person you know.
William Skin.
They can't. Don't mention names, but
no. But I think if you're interested in something, like when you're a child, your throat staying up. So if you're interested in singing and you start practicing at that
as
time,
a child,
you would, of course, definitely.
Let's go back to your story. Now you start hopping from agency to agency. You create a new breed of adverts in the game.
Yeah. So we started. Also, agencies. What I learned in there is pretty much presentation and branding and things like that. So I learned a lot of things from there. Got hired, even outside Uganda. I worked in an agency in Norway for some time.
Oh, yes.
So I also learned how to create design, and I also learned. Yeah, I bought my first camera when I was over there
in Norway.
So that's kind of like my how I entered into active filmmaking. So that's how I entered, and I started making shorts, entered TV commercials.
Yes.
Yeah. So that has been the journey. And when I got into film, I realized that the drawing skills that I had kind of amassed from before were useful in kind of creating storyboards.
Okay.
The skills I had learned from agencies, posters, making all these things were useful for making posters.
Oh, yes.
So all the things that I was learning along the way, they all became useful.
They paid off at some point. How hard or easy is it to make a film for people that don't know?
It's very difficult. Very difficult. Kubanga, a good movie that is mostly drama and temuli movie into bingi kukuba motoka kwa kola bichi. You need at least 400 million to make a good one. At least
just drama.
At least but ngoyagala gikolera ku level ezaba abantu at least
400 million.
Atengo inobanga oli mutetenkanya nyo tomalaga spending
400 million.
Yeah, that's a very cheap one. Inobanga oli mu ebintu emugwa byekolera tekibi bwe batyo. Basically, for example, because ebintu bingi nyo byenekolera, I could do it. I can do it. I can manage doing it. Naye muntu nga tabimanyi nezo ziyinza obutamala. Yeah, so it's very difficult. This is why sometimes abantu babi comparing an music industry ndabanga it's very unfair. It doesn't. It's not the same. Yeah.
So now in Norway you get an interest for film production and now you actually start filming.
Yes.
Where does the breakthrough come from?
So I was mostly doing learning things online, figuring out things. And while there, every time you Google Uganda, ebintu bumbi ofuna tebikusanyusa bulungi. Omanyi munaye ensi yo batojagala nga ogirimu. Naye ogivaamu. Ensi ebanga oyinza olaba omanyi muganda wo nga kunyiiza.
I know.
But you can't be happy ng'olaba omuntu omulala ng'amukuba.
That is true.
Exactly. So kati ensi yo olulimi iki nze okutandika okwagala ennyo okwogera Oluganda na biki ayibweru. Nobuli ayangamba oluzungu lwenjogera si lwange otandika okubeera nga oyagala naawe obeere
you have a sense of belonging.
Yeah. Nagayala okuyiga olulimi lwa taata wange olwa mama wange biki so n'oluswayiri sirumanyi kati natuuka eyo tandika obuuza akadongo kamuuli pyuwa njiga ebigambo ebyamaanyi naye nga all of that is because bw'obeera eri engeri gy'oyagalamu okubeera ne identity. So most of the things I was seeing Uganda ebiriyo nga ndaba obukedde TV yalina agataliiko nfufu gali agasooka birabika bubi bino engeri gye bitalabika bulungi bitulabisa bubi. So I started planning at enzirayo ngenda kukolayo like some movies eziraga nti Uganda is not just it's not just poverty and sickness and there's another side to it. Yeah, so when I came back I did make a short movie called The Bad Mexican. The Bad Mexican, yes. Yeah, I'd done like a short movie while I was there called Monday, but that was from there, wasn't. So when I did that, the reception was good. People liked it. I was like, okay. So maybe I'll just start making short films and while doing commercials. But then after a while, I realized I did The Bad Mexican, then I did a couple of commercials. Then I was like, instead of making another short, let me just make a feature film. So that's when I met Girl in the Yellow Jumper.
Yes.
But remember, I've never been to film school.
Exactly.
Yigide ku YouTube. The thing is, tosobola kuyigira mupiira ku YouTube olina okugusambamu
kituufu
okitegeera biri byomanyi byonna biba theoretical. So that movie was my very first time entering into like actual production. Enkuba embooko. Writing a movie is very different from any one of us has a story. But it's very easy for someone to think nange story yange eno yakabi. But writing it where another human being can relate to it is a special skill, something that you can't just know. Era omuntu atabikola nga wala omuntu angayimbira mu kinaabiro n'alowooza asobola oyimba. Oyingira studio eddoboozi yo n'oliwulira not from your own head but from something else.
Yes, from a speaker.
N'otegeera nti bulijjo simanyi yimba. So that's the same thing. I went in nga ndi naive. Ndolaba nga ebyavaayo si bwe nali njagadde. But because of my commercial background, I know how to make very short videos like a minute, 30. Nenzifuula ngeri interesting. So from my movie I cut out a trailer and take online, and somehow it landed into the circles, Netflix, and yeah, I got that message again. Geya Steve Wijenalaba nengamba wait. So I got that message from someone. I was like, okay, I'm interested in selling this movie. And aba wali kalogo ka Netflix wansi. Nengamba wait. Of course. Yeah, so that's how that got there.
You said it, but deep down omanyi yakukuba emigo.
Manyi era I remember the very first day when nategeera nti bwe bagiteekayo we bati neteeka wali akagambo nti coming soon, let's say ejja ku Friday.
Yes.
Nali happy naye nga ate ndi extremely nervous. Kubanga at that point we yafulumira I had done 2 other short movies. Kubanga eno bwenkuba emiggo nzirayo okukebera what did I not understand.
Yes.
So then nenkola ka short movie ke bayita The Blind Date, which was way better than Girl in the Yellow Jumper.
Yes.
And then I also made another one called 16 Rounds, which was also better.
Yes.
So kati as I'm premiering those ones, people are starting to get to know me.
Yes.
Kati now bawulira nti there's a movie of mine that's coming out on Netflix. In their heads bagamba yakola eno n'akola n'eno kati eno eteeka oba eri better nga bo tebamanyi nti eno yali before these two.
Yes.
Akitegeera. So it's coming out and I'm panicking. I'm like, bagenda gamba ono muyaye nga mufu ikibi akitegeera.
Yes.
So when it came out, of course there were those people, but then there was also people that were just happy that we've
been represented.
We've gotten that milestone.
Yes.
Yeah, but then from that ababirabe ebweru Nigeria I started getting contacts from there, started working on projects there. I worked on a movie in Nigeria called Brotherhood, which was also Nigeria's first Amazon
partnership.
Amazon original.
Yeah, it's an original, not even a partnership.
No, they pay. Yeah, it's an original. Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, we broke some ground there as well.
So how do you break into Amazon? Because Netflix, Amazon, Uganda, these are different.
Munange, there are different things. We
are in a country that is different. It's different in so many ways. First of all, it's a developing country, which means there's limited resources in terms of financial muscle. And then production work is extremely expensive. There's having an idea, but then executing it, how do you manage that?
It happens to even now. There's a couple of things binandiyagadde okukola, but you can't, because you can't either can't afford, or the dream is too big for you now. So for me, what I try to do is I figure out ways nfunayo ebirala awo byenjira nkolaakolamuko obutatuulira awo. Yeah, as I wait for I guess for the stars to align, kubanga for me what I believe is omuntu kyoyinza oyita luck. Sometimes ebeera opportunity meeting preparation. So mbeera n'ebintu byange nga biri ready, the day opportunity eyo wejjira nambikuba. Kati awalaba aba alowooza ogwo omukisa, naye omukisa kusanga nga teweetegese.
What do you think can be done better when it comes to filmmaking in Uganda, with the few productions we have on a couple of TV stations, a couple of platforms, the entire film industry we have? Biki bye wandiyagadde by'osobola okugamba nti bannaye wano tukyuseemu?
So it's very difficult okukimanya kati, kubanga kati ebuzibu bwe tuyina industry eri mu kyuka all over the world. Kati ate ffe nga tuyingira nnyingire, okitegeera. So kankuwa example ng'Abanigeria. Abanigeria bwe batandikira ne firimu zaabwe ezo, balina modo gye bakola firimu nyingi, ng'oluusi si nnungi nnyo n'olwokuba bo bangi. Omuntu asobola okukola nga ogaa nti firimu z'Abakiga, ng'Abakiga balinga nga miliyoni 2 oba miliyoni 15. Nga Omukiga bw'akola firimu z'Abakiga asobola okuwangalira ku Bakiga bokka, asurvivinga ku Bakiga bokka. Oli n'akola ez'Abaganda, nga Abaganda balinga nga miliyoni 15, naaba nga asobola okufuna at least Abaganda miliyoni nga 8 abakonsuming ebintu bye. Ate ejjuka Abanigeria babeera nnyo mu diaspora. Tuli avaayo ebweru najja n'agula firimu z'Abakiga oba ez'Abaganda n'azitwalira abayeeryo. Kati omumodo bwe yasobola okubakolera mu eyo time nga tewaliwo nnyo movies streaming, omuntu asobola otunda hard copy ze, ekitegeera. Kati ne basobola okukula, ne bazimba studios, ne bazimba base. Kati eno revolution ya streaming egenza obbasanga nga balinako eddala we bali, ekitegeera. Ne kati ffe tetwaliyo. Kati process yabwe gye baakola ffe twandigitandikidde kati, ate physical media yavuddewo. Kati ekintu okikola okikasuka ku YouTube obeesingira ku baani abakiraba, ekitegeera. So bw'obanga tolina namba z'abantu abalaba ebintu byebyo, oba tosobola kubaako kyojjamu. Kati ate abantu be mutaazaala before toyinza kubazaala kati magical, okitegeera.
Tubeere
bangi tufuuke bangi all of a sudden, okitegeera. So because of all those issues eziriwo, kizibu nnyo to even advise ki ekyokuzzaako, kubanga especially right now globally things are changing so fast.
There's a generational shift. There's a
lot of things are changing. Ne mu Hollywood yennyini bali confused, ate nga balina mode ekola. Kati bo babeerera confused abalina mode ekola nga tekyakola,
bagikoledde ebbanga, they have the market.
Exactly. So there's a waliwo ekibi n'ekirungi. Kati ekibi kiri nti things are changing so quickly even for people that are already established.
Yes.
Kati ffe abatali established tugezaako kugenda kukola bye baakolanga before, ate nga kati nabo bitandise okugaana.
Yes.
Kati I could say ekirungi ekiriwo awo nti maybe it's the time for us okuinnovatinga what's the new thing.
Okay.
kubanga kati fena tuli ku even ground
fena
kati tuli wali bw'okola project eno ogiteeka ku YouTube erabika kyekimu n'owe Nigeria ng'agitaddeyo
kituufu
kati
the difference is basubscribe abafunye atya
kati ababa bajja Nigeria kuba bangi
bangi
naye kati gweokoze otyo crossinga nti
abanigeria nabo
bakulabe ne bali bakula a lot of times tufuna nnyo wano abantu ne bajja tufuna abanigeria ne bajja wano ne batugamba mukole movie nga ziri mu lulimi lwammwe mukole ebiki ebintu ntubyo ebityo naye bo nga tebategeera ffe system gye tulina wano kati for example muntu bwagamba nti akole firimu wano ng'ogikola mu Lusoga tegenda sukka wali kujja wano kati weeremereddwa osala bridge ate n'atuuka etya mu bannakenya okitegeera naye kati olwa again history w'abanigeria nti bafulumyanga firimu zaabwe ezo mu bungi mu Africa wano tuziraba ffenna tuli familiar ne gundi yaabwe eyo pijoni yaabwe slightly ate newaabwe nabo eringanga ye bayunitinga naye nga nabo balina ennimi ezaabwe balina ennimi ndooza nga 5 naye eyo ye bayunitinga eyo okitegeera naye kati ffe Uganda eriwe tulina etugatta si luzungu ate nga oluzungu era nawo waliwo regions abatalumanyi kati conditions zaffe zize zimu n'ezaabwe so kizibu buildinga model yaffe ng'obesingidde ku bo okitegeera.
You could have done this from anywhere else in the world. You could have said Obakansigale Norway, Obakating, you've worked for Amazon Original. No Sigala. Why do you keep coming back home? Why Uganda? Because we've had doctors, very celebrated, highly trained doctors that have left and never come back. We've had people from different walks of life and different industries. Uganda kanjiri akawani. You've done commercials that are groundbreaking, being recognized. The movies you've told us about. You have an opportunity of not doing it from here. Why do you keep doing it from here?
Simani, a lot of times I ask myself that question, but again the answer comes whenever I leave. Ningenda ke walala. I realize that umanyi oba okulidde Uganda. People don't realize this. Uganda ng'oggyeko nti abantu be Uganda balinamu enkwe balinamu biki, but people are very nice. People are very nice, and you can only know nti bantu balungi ng'ogenzeko mu bantu abalala. So for me, it's the people, and that feeling at home and being, I'm not trying to get everything. Kubanga umanyi okulwana okufuna buli kimwe.
You might miss everything.
So for me, I just want to exist happily. Bwemanga nga nsobola okukola byenjagala, movies enjagala nembeera happy. Sirigeza okufuuka nga Elon Musk nti nga gawala ennyonyi kubanga personally I'm guessing happiness yange tegenda vaawo. So I like doing things here in Uganda kubanga I feel like when bikolera wano I represent the people benkuze nabo. I get that feeling of belonging somewhere. And nga bw'oli erinnya lyange Lookman Ali nyina identity crisis nene nnyo nti sometimes feeling nnyo nga emboozi zisinga mpulira nga si belonging anywhere. Mpulira bano nga balwana ne bano simanya abasoga beevumye ne baali nga ngamba kati awo nze ntaking a side ki. So because of that also I end up feeling that Uganda in general ya identity yange ekitegeera. So sina na answer y'ekyo ekintu kuge mazima. There's been a lot of times when funa opportunities ezisobola okugenda. Some of them have taken them naye era ntuukayo eyo and you have to come back.
Let's talk about the dyslexia. That's how they pronounce it?
Yes.
So when do you discover that this is a condition you have, and how challenging is it, and how does somebody go about it? Probably wali wajina naye nga tamanyi nti.
So baba bakuyita musiru ku ssomero, you probably have it.
For real?
So I didn't know that I had it until I went to Norway. Because
this is later in adulthood.
In adulthood. Because me, I always thought of I didn't think of it as a problem. In my head, I knew I wasn't interested. So that's, for me, I always felt like it's just a lack of interest. But then later on, I learned that kubanga nze kati osobola okuntirawo awo ebigambo mutwe gwange nyina wembiraba. Then there's also the reality of things. So okuwandika ekigambo nga tugambe neŋŋamba nti get out of my house kati osobola okugjamu ekigambo out n'ekirala nenze mutwe gwange nsigala nkyakirabawo so kati nyinza oba mpandika sentence ne missing keywords nga 7
nenga gwoziraba
weeziri kati nyina kisoma out loud okurealizinga nti tebiriiwo so simanyi oba visually ebintu mba mbirabawo oluusi tebiriiwo okitegeera kati oluusi n'okusoma ebigambo because of the same reason ninganga auto feel nyinza otandika osoma wano ebintu kati mu mutwe gwange nga ndowooza bigenda mulala ate oluusi nga si gye bigenda oba nindabako the first 2 letters nendowooza ekigambo kigenda bawe ekiti ate nga si kyekyo.
Is that challenging on a daily lifestyle?
No, right now I think I learned how to, I figured a way. Yeah. But also now the spell check, when I'm typing things, I don't even need to think about. You know, and sometimes you need to grow with the world. You understand? Kati imagining ango emyaka jedda ne bakuba kibooko ne bagamba oli musiru kwata omanyi multiplication table. Kati olina calculator ku simu yo. Esimu yo obeera nayo buli kaseera. Ddala when will it be important okujjukira 16 times 2 mu mutwe gwo mental work ekyo obala amasasi mu lutalo like when will it be a problem okitegeera so there's so many things today that will not matter in 5 years era kyovolaba inze right now sina kyenyumiza mwana muto okitegeera omwana omuto tugambe ngowa top class oba P3 I have no advice for that person kubanga amagezi gange gonna genyina busiru bwerere ye wanaatuukira ku myaka gyange oba ku level wabyetaagira ensi gyaba yakyuka dda okitegeera kati imagine nga jjajja wagamba nina okuyigobala ensimbi eŋŋanda ezo right now ku AI aliwo.
That was going to be my next question. You know, you as somebody who's been in the era without AI and now with AI, isn't it a scare that some of the creatives are going to get out of jobs? Kuba kati AI mbanje taza chiwembanga nsobola otekamu nempaka poster bwatandikira kokola still graphics.
So for me, I feel like in every generation there are things that are phased out, but they are replaced by other things. So right now, as much as it's a lot of times when I'm but then you know, every time what I've changed, especially in the future, you just have to look back in the past. Something like that happened. Not about handling batya. Kati kino of course slightly bigger than what people dealt with before. But the issue is a scaling issue, but the problem is the same. So before okimanyi nti eri abantu abaali bakoona ku madinisa g'abantu bazuukusa ku makya nga baba ne bupoolo obuwanvu in Europe omusasula n'akuzuukusa ku makya akuweeyo morning call eyo waliyo bagaya baakoleezanga amataala g'oku street nga gwe mulimu gwe ava ewaka n'agamba abaana be ngenze kukola n'agenda nga akoleeza ezo street lamps. So we bateekawo amasannyalaze kati oyo of course omulimu gwaggwawo naye nga ate ne masannyalaze eri abakolayo okitegeera. So AI si kintu kipya nnyo just nti eno AI yaba consumer yakajja kati ne AI ebaddengawo before kati for example in my industry abakola video waliyo omulimu gwe bayita rotoscoping okwata ekifaananyi ky'omuntu n'okisalamu frame by frame waliwo AI yakikolanga ng'okukoonako bukoonyi n'eselecting eba AI naye yali eyamba kukwanguyizaako akola ogwo omulimu kubanga AI erina craftsman ekuyamba okukola ebintu eby'eddaddamu neera nga idea olina oba nayo okitegeera. So AI kati esobola okukwata music nekola bweti right now abantu bagenda kiyiikamu oli akola music wa AI oli akola music wa AI eventually ogala abantu tebakyamwagala kubanga human beings will connect with other human beings.
I've seen the same thing happen in nightlife. A lot of people now are flocking for nightlife that has a live band because they are I do not know. That's a discussion for another day. I feel like we could have Lookman here for I don't know, many more hours, but unfortunately we're out of time. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. I saw on social media a couple of weeks ago you had a lawsuit with Red Bull. You used one of you used their logo in one of your short films. For someone experienced as you, how do you reach that? How do you get in that corner?
abo banerinde njagenda ku office zange namba kupe kibooko.
Yes.
No, but so you remember my background is in advertisement, so of course I know when I'm working with brands.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that there are some things I can't do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but even before I did that, I knew how far I could push that. So, for example, if you're making a movie, you can't have a villain having an iPhone. Kubanga tebachikiriza mu branding here.
Yes.
You understand? But you can have someone have an iPhone as long as they're not the bad guy of the movie. So there are all these little things that you can.
The bad guy of the movie can't have an iPhone.
Can't. Yeah. So there's small things. You can have someone drinking a Coca-Cola in a movie. It's not going to be a problem.
Yes.
But it depends. When they drink a Coca-Cola, is it the one that's making them kill people?
Oh, yeah.
So there are things like that.
Yes.
So of course they can't sue because it's not like the Red Bull did anything. It's just a guy drinks it, throws it, and then it lands next to a dead body.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, nothing will happen.
They need to take a chill pill.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have Loukman Ali, and I really hope maybe at some point we shall have you back. He's available on all his social media platforms. I'm still wondering why you've never ventured into doing music videos.
So for me, I wanted to.
Yes.
In fact, I did. I had offered my favorite musician, Mr. Maddox.
Is your favorite musician?
Is just so good. So I had offered to create a whole album for him. But what you have to understand is a lot of times a musician is also an artist.
Yes.
So they also have their own vision of what they want. Kati, I'm also an artist. I have a vision of what I think their thing should look like. Yes. Sometimes those can be they can contradict. Because most of the musicians also they've never really had a big budget for their songs.
Yes.
So me being dyslexic, ekintu nga wenjagala okikola saga kulumya mutwe. So when I look at gyenkoza akalango client kyayagala kyenyina okukola, so ogwo omutwe ne gunnumirawo ate neeno gye batampa ssente ziwera ate naye wannumya omutwe awo neŋŋamba ekyo kankiveemu. I can only do music videos if the musician is okay with me doing whatever I want to do. Yeah, otherwise I am not interested.
If you trust in Loukman's craftsmanship, go and he does for you every day. But if you come with your idea, todamu notwandikira oluyimba omuyimbi ayinza okujja n'oluyimba n'ogamba no, redo the song, then I'll do for you.
But you know what, actually that has happened before.
You've told that to an artist.
Yeah, not rewriting, but kind of arrangement. Kubanga sometimes I do have because all the music in my movies, I'm there when they're composing it. And sometimes I'm like, let's repeat that, let's do this.
Yes.
Oh, it's possible kubanga toli muyimbi nenga you have an ear for
you
things.
Have an idea.
Yeah. So there are times that has happened, and it was better results actually.
If it is in your mind, I say this every day, it can definitely come into life. Loukman Ali, the Deep Talk. My name is Mr. Henry. Turabagane next week. Those of you that are watching us online, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and share, and make sure you inform more people, as many as possible. Until next week, mbere bulungi.
The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.